Nashville, Tennessee. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Paulina Combow.
Yes!
Thank you! Hey, what's going on, y'all? There's people here from the last show, right? Y'all over there? Alright. I was getting in my head earlier, like, don't tell the same jokes! But, I don't know, maybe I will. What, did you guys like any that you want? Hello, I came from Kentucky. I'm so excited to see all of you. This is my first night doing not Zoom comedy. Okay. It's one of those shows where the whole audience is on this side or that side. Okay. You're going to make a lot of work for me. That's fine. I'm going to get my lunches in. That's fine. What do you guys are all from Cincinnati? Locals?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, is anybody in a couple or a throuple? You're married? Yeah. And anybody over here? You're all married? Ah, okay. That's awesome. Like, I actually just got engaged to the cameraman over there. It's been really exciting, you guys. We met in LA, which was like the first red flag, right? But no, I mean, it's working out pretty good. It was a dating app and everything. Like, so far not murdered. And I feel like I don't know, he might live 20 or 30 more years even, so we're doing it. We're in for the long haul. I am going to be marrying into a Mexican family, which is different. You know, it just basically means that my family is not going to be able to say my last name anymore. It's Villanueva. Am I saying that? I told my family, you know, if you can do like vanilla wafer, we'll count it. The other Mexican people were so surprised anytime they found out I had a Mexican boyfriend. And I was just like, oh my God, like, do I just look racist? I mean, I know I sound racist. You could just, and they were like, no, you're tall. I was like, okay, I never even thought about that. Like, I didn't know that Mexican guys were shorter. I never heard of that stereotype. I guess I'm just like always sitting down when they bring out my fajitas. I'm only 5'9". I don't think that's that tall. I'm still 3 inches taller than every guy in LA that claims to be 6 feet. Besides that, no. But no, he's actually a perfectly normal height for a man. Unfortunately, so am I. So just a little bit taller. It's fine. He doesn't mind. Like, he literally doesn't mind. I mean, I have a little bit of insecurities built in. That's just from being this height since I was 9 years old. That's where that comes from. Like, give me a minute, you know? No, the worst memory, though, was just, like, going to 4th grade in a blazer and getting charged the adult price for lunch that day. Does that ever happen to you guys? I freaked out. I was like, Sandy, because that's my lunch lady. I hope you had a Sandy. I was like, Sandy! My mama didn't give me enough money. I only have $1.10. That's how I talked when I was a kid. And when I'm drunk still, I'm almost there now. You can understand me though, right? Okay. Sometimes it gets really, really thick. No. She was like, oh honey, you're fine. I'm so sorry. I thought she was a sub. Take those shoulder pads out. You'll be alright. Oh, I need to learn Spanish. Like yesterday. Mañana. I love that Spanish. But I really want to be able to speak to his family, you know? I just feel really dumb. Like they have to, I feel like they have to dumb things down when they speak English to me. You know, I just feel really stupid. I just want to be in on the joke for once. But I don't know, like I can kind of understand Spanish. Like I know all the foods, right? You know all the foods, but they keep changing the Taco Bell menu, so that's just a little bit. But no, I can kind of figure out what's happening. It's just that nobody can figure out what I'm trying to say when I speak Spanish, which that means I'm not speaking Spanish. I don't know what I'm saying. It's, the pronunciation is really hard. Like you guys have heard of this cake, tres leches. It's Mexican cake. It's really good. You gotta try it if you haven't. But I, up until like a month ago, thought it was pronounced as if Nick and Drew from 98 Degrees had another brother named Trey. So there's no Trey Lachey on the menu at any restaurant, let alone a Mexican restaurant. No post-trace, guys. That means dessert. You didn't know that one, did you? I know a little bit of Spanish. So yeah, that's Trey Lachey. Like now, since I've been telling that joke, like I literally was saying Trey Lachey, but now I'm kind of looking at guys in their 40s and I'm like, kind of looks like big Trey Lachey. Like I'm not crushing on Trey. It doesn't exist. Because I don't know, like Nick was a little too, and then Drew was like Trey. He's my Goldilocks, you know. I think. But let's see. So living in Kentucky, that's been really fun. I went to the mall for the first time in like over a year, which I could have been going the whole time, if you know what I mean. But no, I just didn't want to go. And it was different after going to, you know, like Beverly Hills and different places. My home mall that I used to go to, where I used to buy cool clothes, you know. It was a little different. It was quaint. It was kind of like a farmer's market feel. You know, like no Gucci. There's no Gucci, if that means anything to anybody. But there were 3 stores with the name Barn in it. The word barn. Yeah. There was a Dress Barn, which I think we're all familiar with from jokes. There was Boot Barn, which we all need boots, so, you know. Not gonna laugh at that one. But then they also have White Barn. Have you heard of this one? You know what White Barn is? It's Bath and Body Works candle section. I don't know. Like I think they found out what BBW really stands for. We're just like, oh, White Barn. They'll be more comfortable with that, I think. But no, you go behind this mall and there's also the liquor barn and the jewelry barn. And then Barnes and Noble. We are covered. If anybody asks, like, what were you raised in a barn? I'll go, no, that's where we're going to buy nice things. And get married. I've been to a barn wedding. They didn't do it because it was cheap. Trust me, they're the rich family in town. I don't know. There was like this weird new store in there, which kind of threw me off. Because it looked like a cool teen store. It was right by the food court. But it was just clothes to let people know that you're concealing and carrying a weapon. You have seen it? They're in malls. You can buy a tank top from a store called Bear Arms. And it says something like, we don't call 911. They think that's like an excuse for murder. I don't know. Scares me a little bit. But I don't know. It's kind of like an oxymoron if you think about it. Like concealing, but killing. Like just for a holster. I don't know. What else? I've been in custody of my mom's chickens. When she goes out of town. So that's been interesting. She's got 12 chickens. I guess she has empty nest syndrome. But no, she really does have 12 chickens. And she asks me to watch her when she goes out of town. And I'm like, how do I do it? She's like, there's nothing to it. Just do a little die. And then she was like, "Oh, just kidding. They might die. Don't worry." Sometimes they die. But they go to Chick-fil-A heaven, so don't worry. Chick-fil-A. So, I don't know. It's like basically like any living thing. They need food and water. That's all you can do. Feed them, water them. But they also like treats. They're very spoiled. They like different kinds of treats. I was going to bring them some jalapenos. I don't know if you know that. They stimulate the egg growth. Different spicy things can just stimulate it. So like I go over there for my first day of watching the chickens, and I kind of know something's up immediately. And I go to open up the coop door, instead of just peering out, they're like, "We want to speak to the manager." And I'm like, have you ever heard mad chickens, you guys? I know you know, like, dipshit or whatever, but these chickens are like, So I look in the coop, and there's no water, no food. It's 98 degrees outside. I just threw some fucking jalapenos, you guys. I had a flock of Karens on my hand. They were like, "Where's our mom?" I don't know. I should have known from the haircuts, I feel like. As soon as I walked in there. Let's see. I guess I should say his name, Luis. He's a really good cook. Mexican food. Well, he can cook anything. The other night, I was like, "I don't know if you know this, but you can make fish tacos with fish sticks." And he said, "No." It's just different cultures, you know. I'm not cultured, but let's just say it like that. I don't know. It was quite a culture shock. I feel like going to each other's homes for the first time. You know, because I grew up in Kentucky. We were kind of taught that Mexico is the third world, you know. Like, starving kids down there. Don't let that squirrel get away. There's starving kids in Mexico. Like, you know, that kind of thing. In China or wherever. We heard in Mexico. We're like, that's where poor people come from. That's what we thought. But then I got to go to see where Luis grew up. And I was just like, this is so nice. You have a garage. You have a garage? I don't even think I'm saying garage right anymore. It was really nice. And then he got to come and see where I grew up for the first time. And he was just like, hand over my heart, like, I've never known anybody who grew up like this. You poor thing. And I realized that Kentucky is the third world, you guys. Mexico is nice. It's really a very different culture. You know, like, his parents were engineers. And mine don't even really believe in engineers. If I'm honest, that's witchcraft. I don't know. Like, he is very book smart. I'll give him that. But I feel like I'm like street smart, dirt road smart, you know, if you will. The question I get a lot is, are you afraid to introduce him to your dad? Like, because I guess they assume that my dad's racist because we're Southern. No, my dad is racist because he's a cop. Stupid. I'm just kidding, you guys. He's retired. But just from being a police officer, not from being racist. You turn in your badge, not your bigotry. That's forever. I'm glad you guys are laughing. I was nervous. But no, to be honest, they like him. My parents both like him a lot. Turns out if you make enough money, they don't But yeah, it gets worse. I'm from one of those really small towns in Kentucky where the people with the least amount of teeth can pronounce the most prescription drugs. So let's just say everybody knew my dad. And not only that, but he was our county's DARE officer. Do you guys remember DARE?
Oh yeah.
The drug campaign where police officers came into your classroom and taught you how to make a crack pipe out of things around your house. Famously did not work. Okay. But that was his job, and that was pretty cool. I think it affected me in a lot of ways. You know, like my dad was coming to school with a laminated pot leaf. Passing it around to kids in a circle. Like, just keep on passing it, kids. Like, you're teaching them. And there would always be one little kid that's like, this smells like my dad's car. Mark. She never saw him again, you guys. That's the truth behind this joke. No. Last Prisoner Project, you guys. No, it affected me in a lot of ways. Like, nobody knew me as Paulina. I was Officer Combow's daughter. We couldn't have our phone number listed in the phone book. Do you remember that? So that's why no boys ever called me. Alright, that's fine. But no, like my dad taught every freaking person in our county DARE, and yet nobody offered me drugs and alcohol. So I think it only worked on me, you guys. That was not fair at all. Okay, that was supposed to be the closer. That didn't really work. Okay. Let me come up with one more quick thing. Do you have a request? Did I do anything funny that you liked? Before I bring up the next comedian? No?
I love everything.
Oh, I'll tell you guys. Okay, there's just one thing I was going to tell you guys. Okay, this is just a short story from LA. You know, I'm an independent woman. I don't know if you guys can tell. I was walking down Hollywood Boulevard at night with another female comedian. You know, we're just like, we're killing it. And from behind us, we hear a really loud voice go, "Excuse me, ladies, are you religious?" But then he said, "'Cause you're wearing the hell out of those jeans." I'm so relieved by a catcall. I did not want to pray with a Scientologist. No. No, so we just started chatting with him. Like, it turns out he was just a regular pervert that yells on the streets. But it was nighttime, so we walked him to Chick-fil-A, and he goes, "Ma'am, just so you know, I was talking about your friend, not you." Thank you. So what you're saying is, I was not wearing the hell out of my jeans, okay? Okay. And I was like, "Could you just say one compliment about me then?" And he was like, "Oh." And I was like, "I know you have something, like it doesn't even have to make sense, just anything." And he was like, "Okay, take out those shoulder pads, you'll be fine."